Here in SUNY Oswego, and joining me in the studio today is the presidential and vice presidential candidates for the Student Association for the upcoming school year. Today's format for the debate each person will have 1 minute for an opening statement, and then we'll go into a questions segment. Questions can be emailed to WTOPlive@gmail.com. All right, we're going to take a quick break and fix out some technical issues, and we'll be right back.
Moving in the right direction.
I love working with people. Communications puts you in that environment every day.
I encourage all of my students to aim high and follow their dream.
I love broadcasting. I can be out for 15 hours getting a field report, and I love every minute of it.
We're here to try to help train and inspire and mentor the next generation of media leaders.
I can't imagine the last 4 years of my life being spent anywhere else.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Faculty help us with internships and on-campus opportunities.
We have all kinds of departments, experience-based education that will help you find internships. If you can do an internship abroad, that's even better.
I went to Madrid.
Well, I went to Melbourne, Australia.
Just took a trip to London.
I was in Cuernavaca, Mexico.
Brisbane, Australia.
You learn so much about yourself.
I've changed a lot. I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for bearing with us on that. So the format of today's debate will be 1 minute for opening introductions, then we'll be taking live questions from you at WTOPlive@gmail.com. The candidates will have 45 seconds to respond, and then each of the other candidates will have 15 seconds for rebuttal. So let's do some introductions. Joining me now in the studio, we have Jonathan McDonald. He is a junior. He has been a senator with the Student Association, also the director of athletic affairs and the social coordinator for the Student Association Programming Board. Next to him is Mike Colucci. He's a junior. He was president of the Go Green team for SA, and he was also the vice president of Students in Free Enterprise. Next to him is John Hughes. He's the director of student affairs for the Student Association, two-term senator, and he's also was chair of the Reform Committee. And these three gentlemen are the presidential candidates for the upcoming year. We're going to have 1 minute for opening introductions, or for opening statements, rather. John, would you like to begin?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone watching. Thank you for tuning in to WTOP. I'd just like to say that throughout the past couple of debates we've had, it's been established that every single presidential candidate wants to work with student organizations and wants to make SA run more smoothly, more efficiently. Now, some of the issues that concern me most and that separate me from the candidates that are running with me are the issue of student space, or their lack of on campus as far as places to go, or student union. We used to have one, but we no longer have one. The issue of Plus Plan, having more options late at night to include more than just one sub option, more than one pizza option, more than one Chinese option, as well as a hopefully healthy option. There are also issues that have been years in the making and still have yet to come up with something that students agree with, such as parking. There are many more issues that I would like to discuss tonight.
All right, thank you, John. Going on to Mike.
How you doing, guys? I'm Mike. I'm a junior here. I just transferred this past fall. I'm a business student. I'm at the School of Business studying operations management, and what I'm trying to bring to SA is an out of SA perspective, and bring also a business perspective on it, because as most of you know, SA is a $1.4 million not-for-profit business, and since I've been going out and getting signatures, what I've been hearing is clubs want money, people want money, and also there's not, like John was saying over here, there's not a lot of unity. So I really want to bring these clubs together so we can all work together and do things that we thought we couldn't do before.
All right, thanks, Mike. And on the John.
How's it going, everybody? My name is John Hughes. I am running for SA President. During my 3 years at SUNY Oswego, I've been a senator for 2 terms and a director this current year. During my time at SUNY Oswego, I really was dedicated to students' rights, and this is my platform to be SA President. I really want to work towards things such as working to create a better book policy where we can work to get lower books based on a progressive scale of how much you buy means more of a discount. Also, I chaired a reform committee last year. We got input from over 1,000 students who gave us their input of things they wanted to change. And I'm proud to say that during that time, we brought back Fall Break Day, we expanded Plus Plan to allow Wonton House, and we worked with Campus Life to have a more flexible room and table reservation policy. If elected, I'd like to continue working with students and continue running on a pro-student right advocacy platform.
All right, thank you. And I just want to remind all our viewers out there that we are taking questions at WTOPlive@gmail.com. All right, our first question coming in. Last year with SA elections, there was about 7.5%, 8% of students who voted in the actual election. What can you do to improve student participation and just student awareness in SA in general? So what we'll do is we'll have 45 seconds for an answer, and then the other 2 candidates will have 15 seconds to rebuttal. John, would you like to go first?
Absolutely. Speaking as far as incoming students, we need to work on Speaking as far as incoming students, we need to work with the freshmen, we need to work with admissions, we need to work at orientation so that freshmen coming in know what SA is. We also need to think about rebranding what SA is. SA does a whole lot for the school, but students who know about it, who aren't directly involved, are in many ways disenfranchised. So we need to figure out a way to associate student association with progressive movements for the students. I'd like to create a street team that will reach out to the student populace and really create that excitement for what student association is, what they're doing, and create that idea behind the students that this is something that this is a group that I can go to if I want to fight an unfair policy or if I want to create this idea.
All right, thanks. Now, you don't need to use your rebuttal. If you have direct response, you can use that now, or you can wait and just wait for your 45 seconds. Do you have any direct rebuttal, Mike?
No.
Okay, John?
No direct.
I'm good.
Okay, so Mike, how would you answer the same question?
I would use a lot of our resources that we have here. One being the digital signage, keeping students involved. Also, allowing students, giving them that to approach SA, there's a lot of steps you have to go through, giving them an easier process to approach SA and really find out what the students are looking for. And also, I think SA really has to get out of its shell and go out and approach these clubs and students themselves.
Thank you. Do you have any direct rebuttal?
For myself personally, being president of Student Association, my first priority would be to actually meet with the presidents of these different student organizations and actually meeting them and creating that relationship basis right off the bat.
Thanks. John, any other rebuttal?
No, if you don't mind,
Yep,
I'll
go
go right
ahead.
in. One of the biggest things I faced during Student Association is student involvement. And I think the only way to get student involvement is to let students know who SA is. You're not going to get students involved just by having SA officers hanging out on the point. You have to take SA to the students, and that's my platform. If elected, I want to have it so my e-board will be mandated. My e-board and myself will be mandated to go to the various organization meetings. As a director, I've been getting great student input and great student involvement by going to about 5 or 6 different org meetings a week. I also want to mandate it that myself and my e-board will be frequently visiting Resident Hall Advisory Board and Hall Councils to further get student input. Also, I want to use the kiosk space that's in the campus center to once a week have a weekly office hour where I can present to students what SA is doing, as well as use that as a time where students can come up to me and say, hey John, we're having this problem on campus, how can SA fix it?
All right, thank you, John. Do you have any direct rebuttal?
No. Forgot to mention this one, toilet talk. It's fantastic. I read it, I don't know how many times a day, but you see there's all these great facts on here. Why not work with them? This is just another, what I'm saying is get other clubs involved, bring them all together, and
Yeah, I think we'd all agree toilet talk's become a staple in our college lives. So, all right, we have a question coming in from a viewer. How familiar are you with statewide student advocacy programs, and how would you work with these statewide programs to help students here? John? You go first.
Okay. What I would like to do is first off inform the students on exactly what the issue is. I feel that as far as I know that the tuition, sorry, not the tuition, I know that there is expected cuts from all across the state, especially in SUNY, and I think that the students need to be able to be mobilized, being led by student association to fight against these cuts, to fight against what is unjust, and I believe that SA it would be tremendous for SA to actually mobilize the students against that and create. Sorry.
No, you're all good. Thank you, Mike. Would you like to respond to that?
No.
John.
I'll wait my turn.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Go ahead.
Could you just repeat the question one more time?
The question was, how familiar are you with statewide student advocacy programs, and how would you as president work with these organizations to support students here?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too familiar with what students are doing themselves to go and talk about these, the budget cuts, which are a huge issue right now, and I'm learning from it. I talked with the dean of the students, and he was explaining to me the issue and a lot of the funding that's being cut. So this is a huge issue, and this is something that I'm going to address, and I'm gonna ultimately look to the students and see how they want to do it, because like we're all here for the students. So.
All right, thank you. You have any rebuttal to that one?
No.
Okay. No. Okay, John, go ahead.
Well, I've been dealing with this issue for the past 3 years as far as the state's role with our tuition and our funding. When I was a freshman back in 2008, the state of New York, to balance its budget, decided to raise our tuition twice, which first was a $600 tuition increase and then $800, which ended up spending 80 and later 90% of that going into the state's funding rather than going to our campus. For the past 3 years, I've been involved with programs such as SUNY Palooza, as well as last year I organized a rally on our campus. We had over 1,000 students sign petitions to the governor, to their local state legislators, for them to basically reject these proposed policies. I think what we need to do is take this a step further. If elected, I'd like to have it where in the campus center, in the quad, where we are actively talking to students, expressing to them what's going on. We need to let students know that over the span of the last year, 2.8 million, I should say over the span of the last 3 years, $11 million has been cut from SUNY.
I'm sorry, John, but do you have any direct rebuttal to that?
John mentioned SUNY Palooza, and I believe that there are a lot of students who really care about the whole budgeting process, the state budget, and especially cutting from our funding. What I think what we need to push is an opportunity for us to fight and lobby here on SUNY campus.
Okay.
And yeah.
I'll have to cut you up there, Mike.
A big thing, you have to learn how to work with these budgets, because as our nation is in debt, or it's a crisis. So you're gonna have to learn how to work with the funds you do have, and that's something that I'm gonna bring to Oswego.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have time for one more question, and with this one we won't have any rebuttal. This one coming in again. Do you see problems arising from organizations not making the best use of their SA funds? In other words, how can you work with organizations, the Senate, Director of Finance, and others to make sure that students get the most out of their SA fees? John, why don't you go first? Would you like me to read it again? Or?
No, sorry, okay. I thought you were saying, never mind. Yeah. As far as, I don't know as far as that goes. I don't know, I haven't been in that position because I've been working in various other groups. I know that I've worked with SAPB, which is technically not a student organization, but a part of student association, and I feel that we are funded justly. I feel that if you ask any student who's a part of these groups and organizations what they're doing as far as with their funds for the groups, they're making as responsible decisions, responsible choices as possible, and I feel that I would have to take a closer look at that to be able to give you a better answer.
Okay, thank you. Mike, go ahead.
Yes, I think that these clubs that aren't using their funds adequately, they should definitely be looked at. And on top of that, I mean, I think that there should be, instead of a set budget, more of you have to approach them, and there should be a different view on, like, when a club wants to get money, like what criteria are they gonna have, like what's gonna show that they deserve this money? Like, I know ice skating, they're going to Hawaii for something. I mean, what makes what makes that different from another club, like from their achievements, from their community involvement. So I think there has to be a closer look at the whole process.
All right, thanks, Mike. John, go ahead.
First of all, I want to clarify, synchronized skating is going to Ontario, California to compete. Now, on to the question. I think that it's the role of an SA president and the SA finance committee. What we need to do is get together, have both branches of government sit down, and we need to work together to get a best budget. So it seems like we have organizations that have excess funds and other orgs that have too little funds. I think it's time for us to sit down, go through the budgets for the past 3 to 5 years, and see how these monies are being allocated and what is actually being used. We need a common sense solution, a common sense idea of how to fund these organizations.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. I wish we had time to get in all these. There's a lot of complex issues at stake here. I wish we had time to get into them all. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Nate Hemis joining us, and he will be taking your questions. So these will be vice presidential questions going to WTOPlive@gmail.com. We'll be right back. Thank you.
How would you go about making your house energy efficient?
Just by using energy efficient light bulbs.
I think it's really important to get into a habit of turning off lights, TVs, anything like that when you're not using them.
Oh, insulate my windows and doors to make sure no heat gets out during the winter.
These days, everyone is trying to save money and keep the planet healthy. Curious about how that's done? Handyman Mike Toper will show you how.
See, and we're going to save a lot of money here by insulating these windows. We're going to replace this old light bulb with a brand new energy efficient light bulb. Now it uses 1/3 of the energy and emits the same luminosity. Tighten that baby up, and there you have it. Your lights will glow while your energy bill will stay low. Now we're going to install a more energy efficient shower head that uses less gallons per minute. So you'll get the same shower while using less power. Just turn it and screw it in like that, and voila, you'll be taking golden showers in no time.
Simple steps will save you money. Be smart, be energy efficient.
And the Lakers oust Cortland 50 to 98-20. Something like that.
All right, thanks and welcome back. Joining me now is Nate Hemis. He's a sophomore and current president pro tempore of the SA Senate and also a 2-term senator. Thanks for being with me. Would you like to make an opening statement?
Yes. Hi guys, like I said, my name is Nathan Hemis. I'm running for Vice President of Student Association. Some of the biggest things I'm currently facing and working on with Student Association is getting the Senate, which I would be leading as Vice President, to really get back to what we need to do. Stop worrying about all the fiscal matters that bogged us down for the past couple years and get back to being active for the students, not wasting our time just handing out money. While important to put on events, it's not what we're here for. We're really here to lobby for the students, work for the students, change this campus to make it a better place for you, me, everybody here. Because if you're not enjoying your time here, it's not worth it. Why would you be here? We really got to get back to what matters. Not worrying about they got money, we got money. Let's get back to working with what we need, like the problems with certain entities on this campus. I won't mention any, but there are serious issues that are more important and are bigger issues to the students and me as such.
All right, thanks. And I think we have time for one question. So there's been a lot of issues with the Senate this year. I know sometimes they didn't even make quorum. So if you don't have senators who are interested, how do you make students? But first, start with the senators. How do you reform the Senate?
Well, I think that really requires us getting back to what really matters to us. Me personally being a good example to my Senate and representing us in a good, strong way, getting us to really go to what matters, representing the students, stop worrying about going to committee and handing out money, like I said, getting back to talking to the people we're supposed to represent, we say we represent. We have no influence on this campus without us actually going out and speaking to them and getting their support. Now, what was the second part of your question?
I think we'll change it. We have another one coming in. We're running short on time. As leader of the Senate, how can you mobilize the senators to reach out to the students?
Well, first off, putting on SA-wide events with Senate as a center and a core really can help. Getting us to mobilize together, if people see in Senate that we are mobilizing together, we become a strong entity, not individuals out on their own. If we're working as a whole, and there are clear goals we are setting and working towards, and people see that, they'll see that we are working for them and they will support us more. And we can provide support for each other in our endeavors and everything we want to work for.
All right, and I think we have time for one more quick one. Now, you are aware if in the absence of a president, you would take over. Are you aware of those duties, and what do you think would you be able to handle it?
I think I can handle it. It's just a different role. It's not working with the Senate so much, it's working more directly with the students and an e-board. It's just a different branch of the same entity. While not exactly what I'm most experienced in, I think it's something I could handle. It's just something, it's a little different, and people sometimes step into different roles for different reasons. It's just a transition period. If then such a case happened, it would just be me stepping up to a new position and helping to guide somebody new into the vice president position.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to take one more quick break. When we come back, we'll have everyone back up here. We'll do some closing statements. So when we come back, we'll have that.
Everybody gets ready differently to be on air. Matt and Mike's routine are a bit different.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We walked wickedly, wildly together. E, do. It quietly quenched my craving.
Some might even call their methods unorthodox.
Sit on the studio, baby.
But when they get in front of the camera, they're two of the best damn sportscasters in the whole business.
Good evening, Oswego. Welcome to another edition of Laker Lowdown, your home for exclusive Oswego State athletics. I'm Mike Soper.
And I'm Matt Armstrong. You know, we got a full slate of games ahead from this past weekend's activities, so let's dive right in and take a look.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, thanks and welcome back. We have time for some quick closing statements. We'll go right down the line. I know you have the unique opportunity. You're the only one running, but we still have to vote for you. Convince the students in as short as you can.
All I ask is that people go out and find out who is representing them and talk to them. Because I guarantee that they are willing to work for you and do what you want done, and we can work towards it. But we don't know about it if you don't tell us.
Thank you. Mike?
I mean, bringing business and sustainability, both best worlds, to you, Oswego.
Nicely put. John?
I've been in SA for 3 years, and I've been pretty much fighting the battle for students' rights as a backstreet driver. Now I want the opportunity to get in the driver's seat and actually start being a leader of a movement where SA stops acting like a banker, stops punishing organizations with the funding, stops focusing strictly on allocations, and works to listen to you. I want to bring SA to be a student's advocate and make SA be your forum on campus, a place where students can be represented and a place where students can speak on issues.
All right, thanks, John. Other John?
I'm excited about the opportunity that I have to be SA president, and I'm excited that I can get other students excited about so many exciting things, to get excited about what SA can do for them and what SA can ultimately do for the rest of the school. And I hope that you give me this chance. And if what I've said doesn't clear with you, please vote. That is the most important thing you can do, is to vote, because that gives SA its legitimacy when dealing with the administration. So please vote.
All right, thanks, John, and we'll get to that now. How do you vote? This Thursday, every student will be receiving an email with instructions how to vote, and students have until Friday at 9 p.m. to cast their vote. So be tuned to your emails Thursday and Friday. We are going to be finishing up tonight. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
And we ask the viewers to stay tuned. WTOP 10 News will be starting in just 5 minutes.